Okay. Councilmember Worthington.
I'm very troubled by the what was numerous things that have been said during both the last meeting and this meeting seem to be clearly contrary to science and contrary to law. So, first of all, it's clear in the record that there is substantial evidence that there is currently a coverage gap. It's not a prospective gap in the future. There's already a coverage gap. Is that the staff's understanding? It's even clearer that mobile data traffic, which is laughed at by some of the public testimony as if, oh, as long as I can get my cell phone calls, that's all that matters, and mobile data traffic doesn't matter. Under the FCC regulations, mobile data traffic matters. And people,
please.
And people have a right to use technology to access information. This neighborhood is the people in the world and the people in Berkeley who want access to that data. They're going to take that data and use it, number one, to have fun, and to educate themselves and to use it creatively to make the world a better place technologically. And the fact that the City Council would consider illegally denying them access to that information is very, very frightening. There's also specific detailed information in the legal record about dropped calls, poor call quality, timeouts, all of the things that, you know, they have a right to not have happen. They made more than a reasonable good faith effort to look at more than the required number of alternative locations, including alternative technologies, and to point to one location and say, you could do it technologically this way with an inferior technology. What right does the city of Berkeley have to tell a company to use an inferior technology that's not going to provide the service to their customers? We've been fighting with Verizon for years over how they treat their employees and, you know, all kinds of things. We fight with all these cell phone companies. We fought with the entire cell phone industry. And now they're trying to do the right thing for the people of Berkeley, and the City Council is trying to say, no, we're not going to let you do this. The information was independently verified. It's all in the record. The DRC and the ZAB determined that this was the least intrusive. In fact, early in the record, I can't remember what pages it was on, you know, the company was saying, well, we're open to all kinds of possibilities. And the city's agencies said, this is the route we want you to go because we don't like those other routes. And now we're going to turn around and tell the company, you did what our two agencies told you to do, and now we're going to turn you down because you did what we told you to do. To reject this is anti-science, anti-technology, anti-good faith, and I think it's of questionable legality. The evidence in the record of things that have been considered here, we are not allowed to consider some of that testimony that was stated by multiple participants here. I mean, they may not sue us because, you know, but they would have a really good lawsuit to sue us, I believe. And my constituents don't want the city of Berkeley to be anti-science. So we should approve this and allow it to move forward.
So you're going to move it? You make a motion just to move things along? Well, I mean, we need to have a motion.
Sure. I move that we reject the appeal and use common sense and law and reason.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Councilor Moore? Excuse me, Maio, sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Maio, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I have no doubt that there's a gap. I have no doubt that there's a need. There's more demand all the time for wireless communications. People are watching movies. They're making tremendous demands on the system. And when there's a very dense area, as there is around campus, it's very natural there. However, I think we have some new avenues to pursue as to whether or not we're looking at a distributed model, the way we would look at distributed solar, or whether we're looking at individual entities that are happening here and there. So I think we should look into that. I think we should also look into the testing. And I'm going to make a substitute motion that we remand this back to the ZAB to look into both of those things, the option for better distributed services that could be pulled together with the university, and whether that is viable or not viable. We're just really exploring that for the first time tonight. And given this time deadline that we're under, I think the only option we do have is remand. And also to look into the testing regimen, who does it, how often, how independently it's done, what the protocols are. So that's my motion.
Second.